Hello everyone, my name is Rama Putu Aditya. I'm from B class and today I will present you about part 3, chapter 19 and 20. The first is travel tips. While you don't have to be an expert on international etiquette, it's a good business to practice, find out a little about the custom and culture of the country you live in. And here are some travel tips. Common sense concept for travelers. The first is ensure that you have all the vaccination for traveling to the country you're visiting. Check that your passport and visa are up to date. Remember that some countries have different full tax for electrical equipment like your mobile charger, camera, or maybe your laptop. Maybe you can use the adapter. And keep your passport, visa, and credit card on you, or you can put it in safe of your hotel. Keep an information credit card detailing the number and description of your credit cards, visa, passport, and license. Tell your bank or credit card company that you intended to travel so that they can prevent fraud and be wary of giving your card information. Be as self-reliant as possible to minimize the burden of your stay on your host. Leave detailed action plans so they know where you are in the case of accident or emergency. Also, leave the name and address of your accommodation. Don't forget to ring to confirm the time and date when you're coming on your traveling. Ask about amenities and accommodation arrangement before you book. Next tips is take essential medication with you. Take your own mini first aid to treat common injury or your illness. Ensure that you check if your luggage clearly with your name, address, and contact details. Check that your luggage is securely locked so it can be safe. Make sure that you keep your hand luggage in the overhead compartment above your seat or beside your seat so you can control it or see it. Don't surprise if local immediately offer to do a small errands for you, like helping bringing your luggage. Before you leave, apply for airline's frequent flyer or become a member travel club. Next tips, keep your money and personal identification close to you. And the last tip for travel, take small and cheap souvenir. And the next tip is what to pack. To avoid making mistake of packing and keep your clothing looking smart and while you travel, you should take a note of the tips given below. Take climate into account. Remember that you can layer clothing if necessary. Don't take anything that will be difficult to pack on your luggage or maybe your suitcase. Design your travel wardrobe matched with natural tones and accessories. Number 4, make a note of the type of activities so you can control all your packing wardrobe. And next tip is choose shoes which match with your wardrobe. And when you use suitcase, roll close to create more space. And the last tip for what to pack is pack your swimsuit, hat, sunglasses, and sunblock on your suitcase or luggage. And after that, we go to the subtopic, the list you should know before you leave. Commonly asked about country, like in this material we use the Australia. We should know about what the population is. Does Australia have a lot of illegal immigrants? Does Australia have a drug problem? How can possibly we like Vegemite? How long does it take from a tourist attraction to another tourist attraction? And why around Australia is a republic? They are the simple question. The list you should know before you arrive on your country. The country correct name and the name if the rule in government like from Russia, communism and etc. The nation capital and the top geographical, cultural, archaeological and landmark. When the holiday or festival occur, any particular prohibition or dietary restriction, the country may export, and the last is popular sport and hobbies that in that country. If you are a woman traveling alone, just be aware that there are certain safety precautions to follow. After all, it's better to be safe and than sorry. Travel tips for women. Be culturally sensitive to dress code. Traveling by yourself. Security suggestion for women who traveled. Health concern for women who travel. And the last so you know is where to get help, like police station, doctor, clinic or something else. Interpreter. You should use only professional interpreter. In another, an amateur may find themselves unable to not explain dialectic shift in inflection. Sometimes it's a small nuance in language that can make a big difference in meaning. Choosing gift for friends or colleagues. In many countries, it as a standard business etiquette to present international business associated with a gift, and this is tip for avoid giving any gift which is bulky or awkward to carry. Anything which contain untreated natural wood, fruit or food products. Alcoholic gift in primarily Muslim countries. Gift containing pork product to Jewish or Muslims. Beef product to Brahman and Buddhist person. If a colleague is traveling for a business, it's nice to buy them travel-related gift, for example, a first aid kit, a travel flashlight, a portable clothes line, a portable exercise equipment, a folding umbrella, a foreign dictionary, a disposable camera, or even just a spare of film. Disposable. And the last part of this topic for travel tips is conclusion. Don't get too tipsy over toasting. You might find yourself making many toasts when you travel, because in some countries, toasts are a traditional part of drinking. If in this case, feel free to toast with soft drink rather than alcohol, especially when it comes to your fifth toast for the evening. Chapter 20. Etiquette for English-speaking countries. Although it's easier to conduct business in a country where you can communicate easily with your business associate, there are still subtle differences in mindset and etiquette you should be aware of when traveling to the other English-speaking countries. First subtopic is England. Accommodation. The cost of living is quite high in England. Accommodation is also expensive. Look up accommodation in the UK over the internet and you will find some great site listing bed and breakfast accommodation. But you must ask for them or you will pay a commercial published rated. Conducting business. Business is conducted more formally in Britain. And although women hold positions of responsibility, there are still prominent old boys, and be aware that class distinction. Topic conversation. We can ask for a question or starting topic with like cricket, rugby and why we have won the World Cup twice, tennis, and where to visit. Restaurant, the underground and the transport, then the royal family and the stock market and etc. After that, the dress. However, this depends very much on the field in which they are employed. After work, you will probably be invited to drink at the pub after work by English businessmen colleagues. Don't be surprised if your beer is warm. That's the way they like in England. You can thank you to your host by taking them out on another occasion by or giving them a suitable gift. Next, about tipping. A business person traveling in the English countryside will usually find the casual tipping. It is not expected, although it will still be appreciated. And the next country is America. Remember that America is a very large continent, even major cities have cultural flavors, and so as you can imagine, it's difficult too. The following should give you some tips on doing business in the States. The dress code for America. For instance, California has a reputation for being fun-loving and glamorous. That men dress in dark colors and quieter ties, and act conventionally, while women should wear a dress and jacket along with hosiery. Topic of conversation. We can start with any sport, film, movie, and celebrity gossip. Tourist attractions such as Grand Canyon and etc., the stock market, education and communication, space travel, and the arts. After work culture in America. Most Americans enjoy drinking after work, enjoying a few drinks their favorite bar in the hot traffic behind them. Americans for the most part like to snack, so their work neighbors can often be used as a meal on the run. Most restaurants will offer you a salad from salad bar. There are many ethnic restaurants I'll offer like America, which specialists in Mexican, Japanese, and Chinese. But if the host wants to impress you, they will take you to the French restaurant. Next, about tipping. In a restaurant, it is expected that you tip a minimum of 15% of the meal price. But if you are very pleased with the service, we can tip more. In some cities such as Los Angeles and New York, tips are generally higher than 15%. And be sure we check your bill, as sometimes the tip amount will already added by way of a service. So there are still subtle differences in mindset and etiquette you should aware of the traveling to the other English-speaking countries. Keep respect.